Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my Sephora haul from the VIB sale. I did end up making I want to say 5 purchases. So I made like a bulk purchase and then stuff kept going in and out of stock. And I was like, okay, here's another one, here's another one. And I got tempted by a couple of other influencers and makeup artists. Sorry, this video is a little bit late. I've been going through some personal issues. I found out that one of my bulldogs has a tumor that is cancerous. So we are working with specialists on how to move forward with that. He has some other issues we have to take care of as well. So quite stressful. And then somebody close to me, I don't want to say who, one of my immediate family members had to put their dog to sleep after 13 years. So definitely just felt heavy. There was some other personal stuff, but I don't want to get into it. So that mixed with everything going on, my mental health has been a struggle, which you guys know. So you're not alone if you're feeling like absolute crap. I am most days. So the fact that I even put on makeup today, I was like, you know what? I'm going to film this haul. I have all this new makeup here. I want to try it, swatch it, show it to you guys. So let's go ahead and jump into what I picked up at the Sephora VIB sale. So I want to start off with something that I was toying back and forth with. When I first saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And then I was like, you know what? Is that almost like a highlighter? And then I kept seeing it pop in and out, and I saw some reviews and I was like, okay, yes. So this is the Kosis The Sun Show Moisturizing Baked Bronzer. I did pick up the shade medium. I love this packaging. I think it's super beautiful. It gives you that kind of summer, spring vibes. Now I picked up the shade medium and it is quite dark. So I would say in the promo photos, I thought light almost looked like a highlighter, but then I saw Samantha Ravindal use it and it was very warm and it bronzed her skin up. So this is pretty dark. And it's very pigmented. I mean, very pigmented. I feel like this is one where you're gonna have to be careful to not go overboard, but it is just a shimmery, really kind of warm, glowy bronzer. So to me, it almost is reminding me of the Tower 28 Cream Bronzinos, but in a baked powder form in terms of the way that the promo photos look, the swatches look, just gonna give you that insane golden hour glow. So when you do blend it in, it is shimmery, but again, it doesn't look like a highlight, and that's kind of what I thought from the promo photos. So I am glad to have it. I do want to test it out in a video. This brand is kind of grabbing my attention a little bit more. I think this packaging and this release is beautiful. I wish there was more shades, but upon looking at this, I mean, medium, this looks pretty dark. So I feel like this is gonna work for a wide range of skin tones. And then the deep, I'm imagining, is way deeper. I think I saw Emily Noel got the deep and it was just like really, really intense, which is good. So I wish there would have been maybe like 5 or 6 different shades, but I feel like maybe they're just testing the water. I don't feel like this brand has a ton of products. They're kind of just building on their collection. And I think this was a really good release for them. So you guys know that I was loving the Milk Makeup Vegan Cleanser. I used up an entire package of it or tube of it. And like I used it like that. So I picked up another one. The first one was sent to me in PR, but I fell in love with it. It's very, very moisturizing. It doesn't strip the skin. It's not heavily scented. It doesn't give you that squeaky, clean feeling that's almost like dry and like just irritated. It's very gentle and I love the packaging. I just love everything about this. I went through an entire container of it. Like literally I'm squeezing out the last bits. So I'm really happy to have another one in my collection. I did also pick up the Patrick Ta Major Brow Shaping Wax. Okay, so I got the clear because the tinted, I thought, okay, would it be too dark for me? And then upon watching reviews, the tinted is really sheer. So I kind of wish I would have gotten the tinted just because it seems like it avoids leaving that little kind of residue in the brow. But I got the clear. I've used it one time and I'm a little bit unsure about it in terms of if I feel like it's worth it. I think the main thing I've learned from it, or watching Patrick Ta's videos about it, is that he kind of brushes through the brows and then he uses the pencil part of the spoolie and really kind of sticks the brows to the skin. And I feel like that technique can work with any brow gel. So I don't really know if this is wowing me. Again, I used it one time. I have not been wearing a ton of makeup, so I haven't really like done full face. So I can't really say like yes or no, but my first impression was it didn't hold any better than any other gel that I have, but again, I used it once. So I'm going to keep testing it out, but it just is this clear kind of balm, and they say to use a setting spray. So when I used it, I sprayed 2 sprays, which I could have used just 1, and then you rub your spoolie in it to activate it, and then it basically is just kind of like soap brows. So I am interested in this, a little bit kind of like, once I tried it. I really was looking for something that was really going to stick my brows up and like not make them move, and I just don't know if this has enough hold for that. So I'll keep trying it. Of course, we're gonna try all of this and trying new makeup, but I wanted to haul it first. So of course, you know, I had to pick up one of the Fenty Beauty cream blushes. I was gonna get a bronzer, but to be honest, something about cream products, especially bronzers, I have issues with patchiness, and I just didn't see myself reaching for it. But I did pick up a blush, and then I got FOMO and picked up 3 more. So I did pick up 4. I have used 2 of these, and I can tell you that I like them. They do apply over powder just fine. They are similar to the Tower 28 in terms of they have that balmy feel. They're a little bit more stiff than the Tower 28 and more sheer, so you do have to build these up more, but I haven't had a super intense issue with patching or anything. The Tower 28 does not patch, and I haven't had an issue with these so far. You just have to build them up. So I got Daiquiri Dip, which is this really intense red, and you know, you swatch this and you're like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But once you really blend it onto the skin, you're gonna get that really pretty, just kind of bitten look. That's a pretty heavy swatch too. So I got this one, and then I wanted to get, of course, Fuego Flush, which everybody has been going crazy about. Now this one has shimmer in it. It is a orange shade, I mean true orange. So when you swatch it, it's, I mean, it looks like a metallic orange, but again, when you blend it onto the skin, you just get kind of that flush. Now this one's a little bit more sheer. I haven't used that one yet. I would imagine that you would have to build this one up quite a bit just because of the nature of the shade. And from the 2 that I used, I have used Crush on Cupid, which is just really like a bright pink shade. It's hard to tell, you know, online which one's gonna work for you, but they're all just gonna give you kind of a flush. So this one I've used, and it's just a pretty pink flush. These are really dewy in the sense that they look dewy on the skin. You can feel a little bit of them, kind of similar again to the Tower 28, but they do give you that healthy, dewy look, and that's part of the reason I love the Tower 28 ones. And then Strawberry Drip, which might be my favorite. This one has a little bit more brightness, a little bit more coral in it. And these are just all beautiful. I haven't had an issue with these 2, like I said. Did I need both of these? Probably not. I mean, looking at the swatches, they're very similar. Again, it was really hard to tell online, but I've used these, I wanna say 3 times, and I used it with a brush one time, my fingers, and a sponge. I found that I prefer either building it up with a brush or using a sponge. That's just my preferred method, but my overall first thoughts on these is they're really pretty, and anything I can use over powder that's a cream is a plus. If I can't, most likely I won't use it. So definitely just use a light pressure and build them up. At first, I felt like, oh, there's no pigment coming off. I do have to work a little bit harder with these than the Tower 28, but they give a similar effect. So my first impression on these is pretty good. So if you've watched any of my brow tutorials, you know that sometimes I just use a Benefit Precisely My Brow. Sometimes I just use like a pomade or the iconic London brush cushion. And I wanted to get a really precise angled brush. I have the ABH ones, which are phenomenal, but I want to get more because when those are dirty, I'm kind of switching in and out. And now that Kat Von D is not with KVD Beauty anymore, and she's not part of the brand, I wanted to pick up this brush from her. I had heard this is really, really nice. This is the number 70 brush, and it is a very, very small pointed angled brush. For me, I would use this with a pomade to do strokes upward. So sometimes I like to do that. It just depends on really my mood or how I'm feeling. And I find that doing this with a pomade really gives me more coverage quicker than actually like using just a Benefit Precisely My Brow. So I picked it up because it had rave reviews and because, you know, she's no longer with the company. So I'm comfortable with that and I'm excited to try it out. So next up, I picked up a mascara that I said I wasn't gonna get. My friend Cheryl raved about it. So I was like, okay, this is the ABH Lash Brag volumizing mascara. I've had a couple of you guys recommend it as well. I thought I would get the mini just to try it out because I have so many mascaras. I don't want to be wasteful. I have not tried it out yet, but looking at the wand, it kind of reminds me of the Damn Girl mascara from Too Faced, but not as clumpy, meaning when I pull it out, it doesn't look like it's coated crazy amounts. But the wand reminds me of it just because it's very, very fluffy. She's thick, you know what I'm saying? It's not like a very thin, lengthening one. I could see why they would call it volumizing, just because it's a pretty hefty wand, which means it's really gonna give you that volume. So I wanna test it out. I thought while the sale is going on and it's a mini, I'll grab it and we will try it in a video. So I also was watching Hindash, who is a gorgeous, talented makeup artist here on YouTube, and he used this in a tutorial and I thought it was so beautiful, and I was like, oh my god, I probably got that in PR, but I gave it away. This is the NARS Afterglow Lip Balm in the shade Torrid. The model he used this on just looked so beautiful. I kind of want to try it. When you look at it in the tube, it looks quite intense, but these are very, very sheer. I almost wish there was a little bit more pigment. The model that put it on, it really built up. I want to try and see if I can get anything out of this. I'm not usually a lip balm type of chick. Maybe that gave me a little bit of a tint. I don't know. When he used it on the model, I mean, she really built it up and it just looked like summertime in a lipstick. I think I can see a difference there. It's very subtle. I wish there was a little bit more pigment, but truthfully, most days, again, I'm not wearing a crap load of makeup, so it's something that I could throw on just like I did today, and it keeps my lips moisturized. I wish there was a little bit more pigment, but it feels really nice on the lips. A repurchase for me is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Powder. I got Y315, which is what I got before. This is just a really nice touch-up powder, or powder that I use to set my foundation. I don't use this alone because I just don't feel like it looks right on me. I don't feel like it gives me enough coverage, but I was hitting pan on my other one, and I like to keep like one in my bag and one up here. Now that I'm literally going nowhere, I actually did take it out of my bag and put it up here, but I was about to hit pan, and this is pricey, super pricey, which is like, oh my god, I think it's like $40. So I was like, I need to get it on sale just to have a backup. But this is one of my top powders if you need coverage. It acts very similarly to like a MAC Fix Plus powder, the Charlotte Tilbury powder, but this has more coverage. So it's just one of my go-to, very smoothing, doesn't make you look dry, doesn't cling, but it gives you kind of coverage. Sometimes if I do my makeup and maybe it's looking a little patchy, I can kind of use this to kind of soften the blow, if that makes sense, and make it look a little bit more seamless. So I do really like this. It's just really expensive. Next up, I did see, I think her name's Angela Bright on YouTube. She used this and she was pretty impressed with it. And I was reading reviews and I got sucked in. I don't know if I'm really gonna use this because I'm quite finicky with eyeliner, but this is from Velour. This is called the Lash and Go Eyeliner and Lash Adhesive Hybrid. So it looks like a, you know, lash adhesive eyeliner hybrid. And it's supposed to be just that. You're supposed to use this tip like a typical eyeliner, apply a winged liner or just a line on your eye, and then you are supposed to be able to just stick your lashes to it and they're supposed to hold on. Her review was pretty good. She said it wasn't as strong as lash glue, but her lashes didn't come off. She had them on for hours. So I picked it up. I'm a little bit like, am I really gonna use this? I'm trying to be practical. I was just thinking about like days like today, when I just do a wing, would this make it easier and not have to mess with glue and then covering the glue? But I'm really finicky with my eyeliner in terms of what kind of applicator I use. So I want to try this in a video, but I'm a little bit nervous just because it's so different from anything that I've ever used. So we will try it out, but let me know down below if anybody's picked this up. So I did end up picking up an eyeliner that I saw, I forget her name, but somebody that I was watching on YouTube, if I can remember, I can't remember. Somebody was using this Pillow Talk eyeliner from Charlotte Tilbury. I thought this looked so beautiful just to smudge out. It's like a kind of like burgundy maroon brown, and it just looks so pretty. She had it like smudged out like a winged liner, and I just thought that it looked stunning. I'm not the best with smudging out liner. I wish I was. I'm much more comfortable with just doing a wing, but when I try to smudge it with shadow, I feel like, or like liner, I feel like, oh, things can get rough. And I think also because I do my face makeup first, that I really don't have the option to clean up. So I'm like, if I jack up my wing, I'm screwed. This just looked so beautiful. So I thought even if I put this in the inner rim, or if I just smudge it on the top lash line and not into a wing, it looked gorgeous. The color's gorgeous. I think Melt had like a brown liner that was kind of red too that I was eyeing, and it was in the pot form, and I went with this instead. So I want to try this out. I'm not a big eyeliner girl except for winged eyeliner, so I want to get more into smoking out liner and doing like softer looks. Next up, I'm not sure why I bought this, but I feel like this would be nice and just kind of calming, a little bit of self-care. This is the Sephora Facial Cooling Globe set. So these are just 2 little globes that you're supposed to put in your refrigerator, and you're basically supposed to just massage your face with them. And I thought that this looked really nice and relaxing, especially this looks like something else, you know what I'm saying? So let's just keep it PG here, folks. But I just thought that this would be really nice and calming under the eye, just to kind of lift the jawline, really mostly under the eye. It already feels pretty cool, but there's 2 in the pack, and if you put them in the fridge, I just felt like it would be really nice. Maybe if you had like a face oil or something and you just wanted to kind of depuff. I have a tendency to get very bloated, like in my face and under my, you know, chin, and it's just all based on sodium or whatever I ate that day. And I really just thought, if I want to like lay down and just close my eyes and just run these under my eyes to de-stress, I'm all about that self-care life right now. So I thought that this was a cute little set. It had really good reviews too. So I want to try these out and see if they give me some relaxation. As you guys know, I love the Amika Bust Your Brass Cool Blonde Shampoo. I picked up 3. There's 2 here, and then I had to put 1 in the shower because I do go through this quickly, only because I wash my hair about 3 times a week, and I usually use it every time. I love this because it lathers, it smells good, it doesn't dry my hair, and it doesn't clump. It lathers evenly, if that makes sense. If you've ever used a purple shampoo, a lot of the times they kind of clump in one area. So you'll get like a streak of purple, and then another piece of your hair will be yellow still. Like, it doesn't like distribute evenly, whereas this one does. It's not as intense as like a Fanola, but I like that because I can apply this. I think it says, how long does it say to leave it on? So it doesn't say how long to leave it on, but for me, I can leave it on for like a minute or 2 if I don't need a lot of toning, and I can also leave it on for 4 to 5 minutes if I need a little bit more toning. I didn't use it today because I overtoned it the other day. So I just really love this. I've gone through now, I wanna say 4 bottles maybe, and then I just bought 3 more. So it's been a staple for me for a long time. I just find that it's just the most user-friendly. You can't really mess it up, but it does the job, so I love this. And then to finish off the haul, I was running low on my Cinema Secrets. This is my brush cleaner that I use for like quick cleaning, you know, eye brushes. It's just really convenient. The big size was out of stock, so I went ahead and got the 16 ounce, and then the big size came back in stock, which is the 32, and I thought, you know what, they're on sale, and I have a lot of brushes. I'm one of those people that I wash my brushes every single time. I actually remember when I used to do videos, I would reuse my sponge, and I didn't realize that anything was wrong with it. And then people were like dragging me in the comments. They're like, ew, wash your sponge. And I was like, oh my God. So ever since then, now I'm like, kind of like anal about it. Like, I don't use the same sponge over or brush. The only brushes that I'll use over would be like a powder bronzer, a powder blush, or highlight. Anything with foundation, concealer, absolutely not. And even eye brushes I don't use over. So for me, this is definitely a necessity. I don't like the smell of it, but it gets the job done quickly, and it's kept my brushes clean over and over and over. I've had some brushes for years, so definitely wanted to pick this up and get it on sale. So that is everything that I picked up during the sale. I wanna know what you guys got. I know some people's orders came quickly, some are delayed. I was kind of right in the middle, but I feel like I got them pretty quick. So I wanna do a video, you know, testing out the Fenty and the Patrick Ta and the, what else? The Kosis on camera. So we will do that very soon. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.